fist. Wow. Wow.
Episode 8. I think that one was called Previously On, and it's basically Agatha has the boys kidnapped, and she's basically using her magic to see in the past of Wanda's life, trying to figure out why Wanda's able to do what she's doing, because Agatha believes it's magic, but she doesn't know what kind of magic that can do something on that scale. So she's trying to search Wanda's past and figure that out. And this is where you figure out that Wanda's powers aren't actually telekinetic at all. They are actually magic. And the Mind Stone only awakened her magic powers and increased them.
Yeah.
But so you figure out that she had a love for sitcoms when she was a kid, so it kind of explains why her fantasy world is all based on sitcoms. So anyways,
Yeah.
Caleb, you gotta go first this time. Episode 8, thoughts?
Yes. The move into Wanda's past and Agatha. Or,
I thought for a second you said something else, but anyway, sorry.
okay,
Was like a
this
journey
is the
into
one
her what
where
now?
Agnes goes into her past a little bit, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just making sure I'm not on like one previous in my head. I like this one because it was where I realized that Doctor Strange is also kind of part of the magic. Like, I didn't put Doctor Strange and Wanda's abilities in the same type, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But they are.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we were always led to believe that Wanda's abilities were telekinetic.
Right.
Because technically, I think that was supposed to be the thing because Marvel couldn't have the rights to the real, Scarlet Witch. That's why she's never called Scarlet Witch. And they do make a joke about that, I think, in like episode 5 or something. They're like, she has no weird nickname or anything. But anyways, yeah. Yeah, it is weird to think that she all of a sudden has magic, or always had magic.
Right. And then the backstory on her was good. I like that. I like
Yeah, it
the
was
whole
cool.
Agnes explaining magic to her.
Yeah, I wonder if it works on the same principle as Doctor Strange magic, though, because in that movie they explain that magic is just them using the energy from the different dimensions.
Well,
Uh,
specific magic.
There's
Some
three different
magic is
kinds
from
of
different
magic.
dimensions.
yeah. So that would be the
There's
thing.
three
It's
different
like,
kinds of magic, and
oh yeah, I've watched enough of
order
magical
magic,
animes.
which
I
is
know how this works. I've
no,
watched
but
Fairy
like
Tail.
in the Marvel universe, there's three different types. There's order magic, which is Doctor Strange. There's chaos magic, which comes from demons, which is what Scarlet Witch is. And then there's a third type of magic, which we don't really see yet.
But any other thoughts, Caleb? Or
No, that was about it.
okay. So AJ, what were your
Alright,
thoughts?
so all of the backstory. So when I saw Agatha's backstory, I was like, oh boy. She's gonna be evil. All the way through and through. I I don't know what I expected, but when she killed her mother, I was like, well, dang. Didn't expect that. Didn't expect her to kill her own mother. But then she's all like, but I can be good. It's like, well, you can't be good and then kill your mother, like, in the next 5 minutes. Like, come on.
Well, her mother tried to kill her, and she killed her mother instead.
But you're led to believe that that group of witches were actually good.
Oh, hold on, Daniel. She literally just
But
killed
sorry.
5 of her mother's students.
Yeah, music major.
Anyways,
sure.
anyways,
Even
sorry,
though I was
Daniel.
a
I'm
guitar
just trying to
It's my
bring up.
turn! It's my turn! Don't
Okay,
apologize to Daniel on my turn.
take
okay.
can of
Sorry,
lessons.
everyone.
So I know easy stuff that I can get you by on.
I did like getting to go back and see Wanda's past. That was fun. I appreciated that element of it. Yeah, episode 8 was a bit of like the calm before the storm, essentially. Of like, okay, this is what's been going on, this has happened. How the heck are they gonna wrap up episode 9? And so, I would say episode 8, between episode 8 and episode 9, was the longest week that I experienced throughout this show's running time. Usually it was just like, oh, okay, it's Wednesday, not long until it starts up again, I can do this. But this one was like, how the heck is it only Monday? This is impossible.
Um. Okay. Daniel, what's your thoughts?
I enjoyed episode 8 because it showed that even though Agatha has power, she wasn't the one controlling the people. It was Wanda, and Wanda is responsible for it.
Yeah.
We also got to see the truth behind what happened to Vision.
Yep. I forgot to mention that, but yeah, that also happened.
That was nice. That was good. I still wasn't convinced by the end of it that Agatha was purely evil. Again, because I feel Wanda should be held accountable for holding the people captive against their will, just for her to live out a fantasy with her dead husband. So I figured, hey, maybe Agatha's gonna be the one that knocks some sense into her.
Yeah, AJ kind of pointed that too. Maybe she was the one who was going to convince Wanda to let them all go and control her powers better.
Yep, that was my feelings for episode 8. We also got to see why pretty much every ad leading up to it was a Stark ad or a reference to Lagos.
Or Hydra.
Hail Hydra.
Okay, Chris.
Main thing is, I was kind of expecting Agatha to be less villainous. Like, I don't know, I was expecting her to be that instructor that teaches you extremely hard lessons in probably less than good ways. But in the end, turns out to not actually be a bad guy. Right, like she was trying to, because it seemed like she was kind of trying to teach Wanda about magic, and she was explaining it as she went along. And yeah, she wanted to know about her power. But to me, it didn't seem like she wanted to take it. So this whole episode, I was kind of jumping back and forth, trying to figure out what she was.
Yeah, what role she played?
Yeah, exactly. What she played now, what role was she gonna play? And I
Because
did
in the comic,
appreciate.
she actually was good for a time, and she actually helped Wanda learn magic.
Yeah, she flip flops.
Oh yeah, that's kind of what I was expecting to happen in the show. Small thing though, I did appreciate that they referenced the Salem witch trials just because it was kind of a real world event, which
Yeah.
they don't often talk about in Marvel, right? Like, I feel like
Real
they don't
life.
often go back and talk about events that actually happened in world history.
Happy to teach.
And then the very end, I didn't know what to think about that. I think it was the after credit scene with the snow vision or whatever he
White
is.
Vision.
Yeah.
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 Is there an actual
I
name for him, or is
Yeah,
everybody just
yeah,
calling him White Vision?
It's in the comics. He's White Vision.
Cool.
yeah, I think his design was actually really cool. I liked it. But that was kind of like, what the heck? Another one of those what the heck moments.
I also like how they couldn't animate him without the Mind Stone in Infinity War, but then Hayward and the scientists just happened to get him working by adding some magic Wanda juice.
They had 5 years to do it though.
True, but Wakanda's like 300 years in the future, so. But anyways,
But
That's
Shuri
all I
was
had.
gone, right? Like Shuri was put on the spot. She had to try to figure everything out, whereas the Americans they had 5 years to mess with him.
stop advocating for American power, AJ.
I'm not. After all, look,
Just joking.
what Shuri was trying to do was take the
Okay.
stone out
Yep.
without killing Vision and without changing who he was. What
Yep.
Hayward wanted was a Vision who had the powers of Vision but would listen to military instruction 100%.
Yeah. Fair enough. Um. Okay, so it's my turn now.
Yeah.
Okay. What did I have? Oh yeah. This was the episode for me where Hayward was official. Like I know he was kind of already established as a dick earlier in the series, but like AJ said, there was a lot of people that are like, well, he had a lot more to go through, and Wanda did technically break the rules too by stealing the Vision's body against the Vision's wishes. And you're like, yeah, I guess I could see that. I was more like, yeah, Wanda wasn't really playing by the fair either. Didn't give him the right to try and kill children, but I was like, well, Wanda wasn't exactly following the rules either. This was the episode where it was officially established that Hayward's a dick. Because you find out that Wanda actually didn't break the rules whatsoever. She broke a couple windows and, dented a door, which, to be fair, that would have been a pain to replace, but she didn't hurt anyone. She didn't even assault anyone at all. She didn't steal the Vision's body at all. She just she was she wanted to see him. Well, she wanted to bury him, but then when she realized Vision wasn't there anymore, she left peacefully. And then you find out that Hayward has been trying to weaponize Vision, which is technically it was against the Vision's wishes, right?
Yeah.
The Vision wanted his body locked up after his death so that nobody could try and weaponize him, because he technically was like the most powerful machine on the planet. So, uh, but anyways, what else do I have? Oh yeah, Wanda's powers are explained to be magic. I do like the bit of when she's a child, when she explains that the reason why her and her brother survived was because of probability magic. Because again, if you know the comic books, you know that Wanda's magic is probability magic. She can change the probability of things happening,
Yeah.
which in the comic books, she belongs to a group of beings called the Nexus, which was a reference that was made in that one commercial. Anyways, the last episode 9 is of course the final episode. It's called the season finale. Season finale or series finale? Season finale? The
Why,
series
AJ?
finale. So that hints that
Yay!
So
Sorry,
as far as
Anthony,
I
you just-
know, this is the only season that there is. They're not going to have a season 2. I don't think.
Correct.
Because this is called the series finale. So that would, unless, they can always change their plans later and make a second season. But as far as right now, I don't think they're planning on doing a second season. This is where, this is the big final battle against the final boss of the series. Wanda versus Agatha. White Vision shows up and fights the Vision. He disappears. We don't really know what happened. Vision is able to regain his memories. I thought maybe that was the way how Vision was going to come back into the series, but White Vision just literally disappears, and we don't see him the rest of the episode. Um, Agatha gets reverted back to her TV self as punishment, which you guys can explain to me if you thought that was cruel or not. Some people might think that's cruel. Whether she was evil or not, is it really right to entrap her in that for the rest of her life? But anyways, what else? Skrull shows up at the end of the episode with Monica, so obviously something they have plans for her, whether it's a movie or something, I don't know.
From what I understand, the plans are that she is going to be in Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel. The Miss Marvel
Interesting.
TV show and the Captain Marvel 2 movie.
So, is Miss Marvel actually going to be like the first MCU mention of Inhumans?
Possibly?
Because technically in the movies they never once talk about Inhumans.
No,
Ever.
but that's when they might be all like, hey, look, we already have a show that's been doing crap on Inhumans.
And has also had crap ratings. But anyways, but yeah, and then we get Scarlet Witch's official first costume, and Agatha's defeat, and how she defeats Agatha, and then the final end, which is her being in this cabin, reading a dark tome, and you're just like, uh-oh, shit's going down. But anyways, and then a hint that something greater is coming. And the Scarlet Witch is like this person in this title given to this really powerful witch, which get it, is going to bring some sort of Armageddon, I guess. Also, you get a hint that she's more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme. I like that hint. That was a pretty cool reference. Kind of wish he would have showed up in the episode, but anyways, I'll talk to that when I actually. You know what? Screw it. Final episode. I get the start.
Go for it, Anthony.
About time you did something for yourself.
Thank you, Caleb. Yes. I thought the episode was. I thought it was pretty good. I don't think it was perfect, but it was pretty good. I hate how many questions it ends on, just with her in the cabin, reading the tome. It's like the thing I hate about that too is that I want her to be good, and they're consistently trying to make her bad. It's like we just got back the fact that she was good and she didn't do anything bad and she wasn't trying to hurt people. She even said that like the people she had kidnapped, she actually thought that they were enjoying their time there, and then she ends up finding out that they were actually all being tortured under her mind control, and she had a hard time accepting that fact. But then at the end, you have her reading the dark magic, and it's like she's still trying to get her family back. And it's like, haven't you learned anything from this? But I think that's going to lead into Doctor Strange, and maybe that's the point, that her character arc isn't finished yet. They're going to finish it in Doctor Strange, and maybe she's finally going to realize at that point that she needs to stop destroying the universe, trying to get her family back. Also, I thought it was cool that Agatha mentioned that even though her spell was all powerful, she didn't cast it right, and she tied her family's lives to the spell. So there seems to be a hint that she could have created a world where even that she could have created the spell in a way that even if she created Vision and her family, they would have been able to leave the hex. But she wasn't able to, so unfortunately she had to disintegrate her family to save everyone, which unfortunately that was very, very sad. And I do feel for her because she had to basically go through how many times now? 3 times her husband dying,
4
and
times.
4 times, and then her children dying too. Well, they didn't show that on screen, which I didn't think they were going to because that would have been very it would have got rid of their PG-13 rating. uh, Showing kids die on screen, but they get disintegrated up in their bedroom, and but anyways, love her costume. I love the Scarlet Witch costume. Like I said,
Yeah.
MCU has done very good with the costumes. I love a lot of the MCU. I love Captain America's costume, other than his Avengers costume, the first Avengers. I thought his
But that's
costume in that one was
America's
kind of
butt.
corny. Yeah, yeah, but I did love
Puerto
his
Rican flag on it.
Endgame. His Endgame and Civil War costume was amazing. Iron Man suits were always so frigging amazing. Mysterio, I loved as much as I hate that movie. I loved his costume. I thought it was really cool. Um, and then like I said, Scarlet Witches was just absolutely amazing. Um, and also I like the little reference where she first got her crown made out of the magic. That was cool. And then when she officially got the costume. But I actually don't have anything written down for episode 9. I actually didn't have time to write anything down, so I'm going off. I'm unscripted, which
You're the
means
one
I'll
who
probably
wants
be
it to
too
be
long.
quick, Anthony.
So, anyways, let me just think really quick. Was there anything else? Oh yeah, the only thing I didn't like. Why couldn't Doctor Strange show up? They can get Darcy's actress. They can get Agent Wu back. Why couldn't they get Benedict Cumberbatch? Like, come on, Benedict. Just like 5 minutes of your lunchtime. Just come and do this one quick scene for us.
What would he do?
He'd show up and kick Agatha's butt and maybe imprison her because
But wouldn't
isn't
that
he
defeat
technically the
the
magic?
purpose?
Isn't he technically the magic police? Couldn't he have locked her up in magic jail? Isn't he the one who's supposed to know about all of these interdimensional beings? Like when Loki showed up, he just like entrapped them in magical prison. It's like, wouldn't he know that there's witches running around?
Maybe he didn't think it was enough of a threat to work to be
As much
focused
as
on,
he
or he
hates
had bigger threats.
Spider-Man, don't they say that Doctor Strange is busy?
Ah,
So,
but
well, keeping him busy there might still be.
but Spider-Man actually takes place 3 months after WandaVision.
Does
Yeah,
it?
but we
Yeah.
don't know.
I actually didn't know that. Yeah, that
Because
actually was one question of mine.
WandaVision takes place 8 days after the snap, like the Endgame
Yeah.
snap.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know that.
Whereas
That's cool
Spider-Man
knowing
Far
that.
From Home takes place 3 months after.
Yeah, but
Okay.
we don't know when he started being busy or not.
True. But I'm just saying, like, the odds that he's really busy.
Well, maybe the next Doctor Strange movie takes place at the same time as Spider-Man's movie. That has happened before. Thor and Iron Man 2 took place at the same time. But anyways, um, there was one more thing I was gonna say, but I forget. And if I do, that's okay. Um, but anyways, yeah, I'll leave it at that for now. AJ, go ahead.
Alright, so the season finale. I loved the Vision versus Vision fight. I loved how it ended. Of course, Vision defeats Vision by using philosophy.
Logic.
It just
Vision.
makes sense.
It does.
And then Wanda versus Agatha, the way that she cast those runes, I could tell she was up to
Oh,
something.
yeah, that's what I was gonna talk about.
I
That's
could
really cool.
tell that she was up to something, but I could not for the life of me figure out why she was missing. And then the moment that it like shows the runes, I was like, of course it's the runes. It just makes sense. So
Yeah, no,
they pulled a fast one on me. Bravo, Marvel for that. I don't know how I feel about the ending with her walking off as opposed to like accepting what she's done and being taken in.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like she feels sorry for it.
But at the same time, with how they treated Vision, I'm not overly surprised that she'd be like, well, what guarantee do I have that they're not going to just use me? So all of that to say, I appreciated the finale. Again, I allowed the internet to ruin it for me in certain regards. But
How so?
well, because I was expecting Doctor Strange. I was expecting either Mephisto or Nightmare. I was expecting a big baddie who was gonna have to be defeated, and then to find out that it was just a paranoid human. It's like, okay, I get it. It was about Wanda and Vision the whole time, but come on. I will say the ending though, the very ending where it's like where she's saying goodbye to everything that she holds dear to her, that to me made it so difficult to see her as the villain at the end of the show because she was willing to give up everything she like fought for. Like the reason why she was going against the American military was to keep her family safe. And in the end she realized, no, what I'm doing is wrong. I have to give them up. It's just like, oh, would I be able to make the same commitment? I don't think so.
That's true. You have to ask, like, if you had to give up your own family, AJ, being a family man now, in order to save a bunch of people, would you?
If I had to give up my family, no. I'm not giving up my family so that somebody can survive. I mean, I'm not switching a
No,
life
that's
for a
only
life.
natural. You don't feel like a bad person for saying that. That's only natural.
Alright.
But anyway,
Yeah, so I loved the series finale, but again, there were some things I was expecting that ended up not happening, so it kind of ended up having a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth, but looking back on it, I appreciate it for what it was.
okay. Chris, thoughts?
Uh, I don't know what to think. There's a lot that went on in the last episode. Between the fights, obviously the fights between Agatha and, excuse me, the Scarlet Witch, and then the visions were pretty epic. I liked the way they ended up making it kind of a 2-on-2, and then it breaks off into a 1-on-1,
Yes, no.
and it
Halfway there.
made it very epic. But my question with the whole runes thing, first off, that was a brilliant move. I liked how that came out. That was very well done. But if she was in the runes the first place, why wasn't she being destroyed by by I keep wanting to say Olsen, but that's the actor's name. The Scarlet
Wanda.
Witch's
She
magic.
wasn't. See, what was happening, right, Chris, is during the fight she kept missing, right?
There was shots of Agatha getting hit and absorbing it.
Yeah. There were shots of Agatha getting hit, and that's what Agatha wanted, and she thought that Wanda was trying to hit her. But there were times where Wanda was missing. And the times where she was missing, it was because she was carving out runes in the hexagon around her. And so after she finished, and they're just both floating up in the air, we see, oh, she managed to carve out the runes on the hexagon. They weren't always there.
Yeah, I thought she had put them there before the fight even started.
No, she didn't even know about it.
Okay, well, I didn't catch that.
No.
That does answer my question. And I am excited to see what happens with the Vision who flew off, the White Vision.
Yeah.
To see what happens there. If he's actually Vision again, or if it's going to be part of Vision and not part of Vision, we'll see.
Well, it's kind of their question, right? You know, if you take an old ship and replace its boards, what is it still the same ship, or is the old boards repurpose the old ship?
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of that ethical question. But
Yep. So I think only time will tell on that one.
Yep.
Regarding the
whatever the writers feel like doing.
yeah, right. I think it was the second after credit scene, the one when she's in the cabin.
Yeah.
What I want to know is, did you guys notice how it kept blinking? Like it would go
What?
off and then on
What would blink?
periodically. Like it would go black and then come back for a second.
What would?
Like,
What would? I have no idea what you're talking about.
oh gosh, maybe it was just mine. But like during the scene, you know, it's doing the flyover and finds her and falls into the house and whatnot.
Yeah.
It would blink.
Oh, nah. I didn't see anything like that.
Okay,
No, I
maybe
didn't notice it either. Maybe you're just having a stroke.
that is
But,
symptom of a
We
stroke.
here at RocketFist Gaming like to encourage people by saying, no, you're just mentally retarded.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, well on my
I said
screen.
he had a stroke. I didn't see anything about being mentally insane.
Oh, sorry.
Also,
I
I've
get those
completely
mixed
wasted
up
my turn.
sometimes.
Sorry, guys.
Anyways, any other thoughts?
Well, what I was gonna say, and if this happened, maybe it was just the TV, but I doubt it because it didn't do it at all throughout the rest of the episode. It seemed like it was like whatever was there or following her was actually like someone blinking. Like
Oh,
that's the thing
that would
I
have been
got.
really creepy, actually, if that's
Yeah,
what was
that's why I
going
was
on.
like, what the heck is this? But talking about Doctor Strange and all this, I was kind of wondering if it's him like catching up.
Ah, I like that idea, Chris. Good idea.
Yeah, like he does
Honestly,
hear about
a
this.
5-second cameo at the end of that episode with Doctor Strange would have been
Well, I don't.
a lot
Yeah.
better than what they did.
Oh, I like what they did. Honestly, I didn't miss Doctor Strange, but I was just trying to figure out what it was. And your talks about Doctor Strange made me think of that. And then also when you see her floating in the air, she's doing like the exact same thing he did.
Yeah.
Because you know, same pose and everything, which is just a kind of a cool little callback. But I'm about to waste my second turn. Dang it. Not a good
Okay.
multitasker, but that's all I've got. So
Okay. Caleb, are you alive?
Yes, I'm alive. You're very quiet.
Okay. Last episode, thoughts?
So. I had read something
Reading's bad for you. Don't do it.
before watching
what?
it, where it said they weren't from the name of the episode they weren't going to do a second season.
That they weren't?
No.
Weren't you
Yeah,
saying
no,
or Anthony was saying because it's called series finale?
Yeah.
I thought it was called season finale.
No, it's actually called series finale. I looked
I
it
have
up.
no idea.
So there was a lot of people thinking that there wasn't going to be, or at least I went into it thinking they were going to tie everything together, and I did not feel like they tied everything together.
No, they did not do
No.
that.
I think they're leaving that open for Doctor Strange.
The runes, was cool. I really liked that. It reminded me very much of watching Supernatural.
Yeah.
I could see that.
But yeah, I'm kind of half interested on how they tie that into the rest of the universe. And those are my thoughts.
Okay. Daniel.
I'm not effing pleased.
Oh.
Fair enough.
Okay, first of all, Agatha has a Scarlet Witch trapped by the runes, yes, at the end of the last episode.
Yep.
She decides, after she's figured out that she's the Scarlet Witch, she decides to leave that advantageous place, go outside, take the children there, upset this all-powerful being which she knows about, and somehow thinks that she will have the upper hand.
She did,
One.
though.
She She did not. That's why she lost in the end.
She lost because of the runes. She didn't lose because Wanda overpowered her.
AJ,
Now,
if she hadn't left the rune place,
okay,
Scarlet Witch wouldn't have been able to do anything.
Exactly, but she needed Wanda's powers. Wanda wouldn't be able to cast them if she was in the runes.
So I understand what you're saying, Daniel, but what if I said to you that she wanted to absorb her powers, right? And the only way she could absorb them is if Wanda attacked her. So in a way, she needed Wanda to be able to use her abilities. Does that satisfy that, or?
No, it doesn't. Because if the only way for you to absorb somebody's powers is for them to attack you, then how come Wanda was able to absorb her power when she wasn't able to attack her?
Because she's the Scarlet Witch.
Because she's
on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
The Scarlet Witch just meant that she could cast spells without doing any incantations or runes or stuff like that. Not that she completely changes the nature of magic. She doesn't just completely rewrite everything.
But she does. She can create life out of nothing.
She can create life out of nothing because of the magic. The magic itself doesn't allow her to rewrite the magic. That's like saying a car can make a car.
That's how they do it in
cars.
cars.
And a car love each other.
With a mommy car and a daddy car.
Okay.
But okay. Well, I understand what you're saying.
That's my first problem. Okay, you guys obviously don't give a dang about that. My other problem is if they're flying around and she's throwing all these runes out, is flying not considered a spell? Why is Agatha still floating once the rune's been activated? Shouldn't she fall?
I was actually wondering that too.
Everybody's still flying now?
Fair enough.
Is that not a spell for them? What the
I don't know.
on there?
Sometimes, technically, and then technically in the Doctor Strange movie, they couldn't fly except with equipment.
Maybe Wanda is holding her up.
It's possible.
But
that is
she
possible.
wasn't casting any magic there.
Well, I guess telekinetic magic.
Yeah, we see when Wanda's casting stuff, she always has that red, and she didn't.
Does she not have the red in her hands at all?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember.
No, when she was.
But you do have a point there, Daniel.
The other problem is this. This is the first time that Wanda's heard about magic and runes and bullcrap like this. She's never seen the runes before, except the one time that she was in the room. As soon as she gets released from the spells, she's obviously concerned about her children, so she won't stay in there too long to study them. It's like if you showed me a Greek character, in fact, if you showed me 5 Greek characters and then put me in a high-stress situation, I wouldn't be able to just remember them. How the heck does she remember them? Doctor Strange, we know, has photographic memory, so he's able to just do that and learn immediately. But how come she's able to learn the runes perfectly like that? Does she even know the order to put runes in?
How do you know there's an order?
Well, how do you know that there's not an order?
Well, because she...
The main problem isn't the order of it.
You can't just make up rules and say how does she know what order to put them in when it's never specifically said that there's an order.
Are you going to let me finish?
You asked me a question, I answered the question! You want me to wait for you to ask her more questions so I can't answer your question?
I said my main problem isn't the fact that there might be an order. It's the fact that she just knows the runes.
Could she have had a photographic memory?
There is an order.
She was trained to be a spy.
How rare is a photographic memory?
It's extremely rare.
It's very rare, but
Forget the photographic memory. She was trained for years to be a spy. High intensity moments. What do you mean she wasn't very good at it? They clearly thought she was good enough to be on the ground in Lagos.
That's when she was still in training. And she didn't do well. She was still being given all the basic pointers at that point, and then everything was crap. And she didn't have any more time to train.
They had her stationed by herself at the beginning of Infinity War. That is not training.
Okay, well, regardless,
Yep.
let's move on. Daniel make good points though.
Yes.
My other problem is at the very end when she's in the stupid cabin and she has the frickin' book. She's in her astral form. We want to call it the exact same thing. Doing what Doctor Strange does. Now, every time Doctor Strange went into his astral form, his body was no longer operational.
Yes.
And that
Yeah, I
wasn't
don't
just him, that was everybody. So how come she's able to walk around and be out of her astral
see.
form at the same
I
time?
actually
Maybe
didn't
because
take
of her
that.
type of magic.
I actually didn't take that as her astral form. I thought that maybe she was just creating an illusion of herself for people who maybe were spying on her.
In the bedroom.
No, no, he's saying that the person walking around in the kitchen was the illusion.
Oh, I see. Yeah, no,
Or
that makes
maybe
more
she was
sense.
creating a copy of herself, as practice to, bring her family back into reality. Because you'd want to try that out first on a copy of yours, on something easier to do than bringing someone. You know what I mean?
I
But
think I
Yes.
understand what you're saying.
if you're learning for the first time how to build a car, you're probably going to start on something smaller first, like a bike. Well, I respect your opinions, Daniel. I
Good,
think
because
they
some
were
of us
all
don't.
I think they were all valid. Okay? I don't know why Caleb's laughing, but anyways. Okay, we'll rate it out of 10, everyone, and that's how we'll end the video. And we'll keep it short and sweet. Chris, what would you rate it out of 10?
Maybe a 7.
7?
Yep.
Okay. Caleb, what did you think?
I would have gone with a 7 or 6.75.
Well, hold on.
0.75.
Are we doing decimals?
6.7.
6.375.
5329774.
Nearest
Practice
round
better for
number.
you.
Go. 7. Okay.
We'll go AJ. AJ, what would you think?
9.
9?
9.
Oh, you really liked it? Good.
I really enjoyed that
Fair enough.
show.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Uh, Actually, because you rated it so high, I'll ask you this. What's one thing you think that could have been improved in the show? Because you obviously don't think it's perfect.
True. I don't think it's perfect, mainly because I don't feel like it resolved everything it set up. Who was the person who was under witness protection? Why did Darcy not stick around for the grand finale?
Yeah, she was literally in like 5 seconds of the last episode.
So there were a couple threads that I didn't feel were tied off efficiently enough, but I thoroughly enjoyed the show.
Okay, Daniel, what was your rating?
3.
3. And okay, well, and because your rating is the lowest, what's one thing you did like about the show?
I'm so glad I went incredibly average.
What was the one thing that you the reason why you gave it a 3? The positive reason you gave it a 3.
Because I thought Vision did a good job.
Okay, fair enough. You liked Vision. My rating, I'd say 7 out of 10 too.
Really? I
I didn't
expected
think it
higher.
was. Yeah, I thought it was average. I would definitely recommend it to people to watch. Will I ever watch the series again? Probably not for a while, if I ever did. Um, Unfortunately, I do feel that a lot of my disappointment with the show was because of the stupid internet hype, and it's not necessarily its fault for that. Uh, but at the same time, it's like I can't stop thinking about it. It's like, oh, if only Reed Richards was there. But But anyways, and that is my thoughts on it. So we'll end this video here. Hope you guys all enjoyed it. We'd like to hear your opinions of WandaVision. This is us, RocketFist Gaming, signing off. And have a good night, everyone.
Gotta choose a production.
Bye bye.
Catch you on the flip
Bye.
side.